Hey guys, welcome back to a new weekly reading vlog and the start of Bookoplathon week 2. So, first off, look at me. It's Monday. It's 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm dressed. My hair is kind of done, although I will admit I did this last night and slept in it. And I'm wearing makeup on a Monday. What is this madness? This madness is that I had a nail appointment this morning at 10 a.m. So I got up at 8:30, put my face on. I've got my jumpers out because it's fall, it's nice and cold. But because I'm wearing dark red, I put on a darker lipstick and then I was like, it's like 9 a.m. What are you doing? So we're just rolling with it. So I did go and get my nails done this morning, and honestly, I think these are my second favorite nails that I've ever had. My first favorite being the Crescent City ones that I had in March, but I'll just give you a close-up look at those. Aren't they beautiful? I'm actually so happy that it's September and that these summer months are behind us, because I was getting tired of having like summer themed nails and having them really bright. There's just something about summer, it just seems to last forever. So I'm happy that fall's here and we've got less varied bright colors around. And yeah, I'm super into reading at the minute because it's like cozy reading weather, and I've got a jumper, I got some candles last week. So I have had a couple of deliveries today as well. The first one is my rug for the living room, which I'm really excited about. I'm resisting putting it down now because my plan for today is to edit 2 videos. I've just finished editing one and it's exporting while I'm filming this vlog update, and then I'm going to go straight in and film another because I have a bit of a weird schedule this week. I'm not really busy, but there are things happening. So the first thing is that the rug was delivered. So when I finished all of my editing, I'm going to go and sort that out. I'm so excited. I've wanted a rug for so long, and it took me ages to find one that I liked and actually be able to afford one, because the most expensive things for your house are rugs and curtains. It's ridiculous. The second delivery I had is a perfect segue into what I'm currently reading, because last week, I think early last week, I ordered a secondhand copy of Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb on eBay. I was reading this anyway. This is the August and September book from my book club, Catch Up Book Club, where we're reading currently the first 6 books in the Realm of the Eldlings, and then sometime next year we will continue and read more of the Realm of the Eldlings. But this is book 4 in the overall series and book 1 of the second trilogy, which is the Live Ship Traders. I did start this yesterday and I thought I'd made it further because I do have it on my Kindle, as for some reason I do find this series particularly a lot easier to read in ebook format, and I managed to get the entire trilogy in ebook for £3.50. So I started it in ebook because I couldn't find a secondhand copy of this at a decent price. I'm on page 118. I thought I was on like page 130, but oh well. I'm still a little bit hazy on what this book is actually about, to be honest. There are a lot of characters introduced. Going into this, I knew that it had a female main character, but I think we were like 50 pages in before she was even introduced, so that confused me as well. So we have quite a lot of characters in here and I'm struggling to get them all straight. But the Live Ship Traders series in general, to the best of my knowledge anyway, is about these big ships that are made out of wizard wood, and when 2 or 3 generations of a family has died on a ship made out of wizard wood, the ship comes to life and the figurehead becomes like a person made out of wood. I don't know. We haven't got to the part where a ship has come alive yet, so I'm not too sure on how that actually works and what it entails. But the female main character is called Althea Vestrit, and she is the daughter of the owner of one of these live ships, and her father has taken ill and her brother-in-law is now the captain of the ship because she is currently not old enough to be the captain. Her father passed the captain position to her brother-in-law, and he's a bit of a dick, to be honest. But we also have other main characters in here, one of which I believe is Althea's nephew, and he is a priest of Sar being the god in this area of the world. These books take place in Bingtown, which is a little bit to the south of the 6 duchies, where the first trilogy, the Farseer trilogy, takes place. And he has been called back home from wherever all of the priests are, in a monastery, I'm assuming, because his grandfather is dying. Now Althea is currently on a voyage. They've almost returned home, but she does not yet know that her father is dying. We also have the perspective of his wife in here as well, and she runs a farm. So when her husband was at sea, he's currently at home dying, but when he was at sea, she ran the family business, which was a farm. There's like a whole deal with the settlers of this. I don't really want to get too deep into what I've learned about the world in the synopsis at this point, because I don't know what's going to be like actively relevant to the plot as opposed to like passively relevant, but she was pretty much running the family business business with her other daughter that isn't Althea. And in recent years, there have been traders who are favouring using slaves as their workers. So this has undercut all of the profits that they are able to get on the produce that they make. And as well as that, the Red Ship Raiders from the Farseer trilogy and everything that was going on there has made it so that trade is not great, because shipments were going missing and not making it to where they were supposed to because of things going on in the surrounding lands. So she has been selling off her business piece by piece, and now her husband is dying. Now, the only other perspective we have in here does not currently tie to the perspectives of all of those characters, and that is the perspective of a pirate called Kenneth. He has big ambitions. He wants to be the first ever pirate king. However, you know, pirates, they're not the most organized groups of people, and generally the way of a pirate is not to be ruled by a king. They're free men. They do whatever the fuck they want. If they want to sail on a ship, if they want to be in your crew, they will, but generally they don't really like to be ruled by people. So he wants to be the pirate king, but he doesn't know if being a pirate king is something that's going to be possible. Oh, we did also have the perspective of a beached live ship, very briefly, who one of these new traders that are coming into the area wants to buy him and smash him to pieces to make smaller items out of his wizard wood. But the superstitious people of Bingtown don't think that's a good idea. So that's where I'm up to with this. I am enjoying it. One thing I will say about this so far is that I'm surprised at how quickly I managed to get into this. The first chapter was a little bit long. It was 36 pages and it followed Kenneth, and kind of just getting accustomed to this world when I didn't really have a clue what was going on. It was a little bit of a drag, but after that I really got into it, and when I'm following Althea's perspectives especially, I'm already really into this story and finding it quite easy to read, although there's 880 pages in this book and the text is tiny, so it is gonna take me still a long while to get through this. So that's all I've got for you so far. My dad is coming tomorrow to take away my sofa, and on Wednesday my new sofa is getting delivered. Now, if you remember, I ordered my new sofa in either June or July, but the company that we got it from, we did go out and actually pick it. It's kind of a made to order kind of company, so you go into the showroom, you pick the style of sofa you want, and then you can have any kind of arrangement you want. So in the showroom they had a corner sofa. We can't fit a corner sofa, so we're getting a 4-seater in the same style, and the colours and everything that we picked are different to the ones in the showroom. So that took a long ass time to arrive, but it's finally coming on Wednesday. It has a footstool with it as well. The way our living room is laid out, I mean, I know I don't show you much of it because it looks fucking awful, but the way that it's laid out, it makes it difficult to have a whole ton of seating in there. So we have our sofa coming. My rug is here. I still need to do the marble on the fireplace after I painted the wood, but when that is done, I may actually be more comfortable showing you guys more of my living room, because I think it may actually look pretty decent, and I'm really excited for that. So I have all of that to contend with whilst also working this week, but I'm really excited for everything to arrive.
Settling in, settling down, falling in love, not falling out. I keep on falling in. Each of us both done in the crown. A crown, a crown, a crown. A king and a queen royally bound. Yeah. Both called it from the beginning. Called it. We knew that there had to be us. Knew that there had to be us. We do what we gotta do to stay with.
So as you can see, I got my new rug. There she is. She's so pretty. I'm so happy to have a rug because all of the others were like this. And tomorrow the sofa's going because look at it. And then we'll get rid of the 2 rugs that are under the sofa as well. And then we have a new sofa on Wednesday as well. It's all good times.
I love you better today than yesterday. Every day it's gonna play out the same. It's gonna play out the same. Growing as one, not growing apart. Apart. Say what we mean, say it from the heart. From the heart. Wrinkles and grays, don't be alarmed, because you're safe with me. The beautiful signs of our story so far. So far. Both called it from the beginning. We called it, we called it.
here. This is my beautiful new sofa. She's so comfy. She's not like down on the floor like my other one was. Life is good. There is damage to it actually. I'm just gonna show you that. I don't think I can. But on this corner, you can see it a bit. There is a rip. So, because it was not a very cheap sofa, they have rang in the damage. And I will probably be getting a brand new one. But yeah. My sofa is here and she is beautiful and I have a footstool too. I'm in this stage now where it's like 8:30. I had to get up really early for the, oh yes, delivery of the sofa. So I don't really want to start work until 9 because like 8:30 is a bit early, you know? But I feel like I should work a day before I relax on my sofa. But I might make a coffee and read a chapter of my book because I've been waiting all my life for this sofa. It's beautiful. So I'm currently on page 355 of Ship of Magic. This is not the reason why I've come to do this update, but I thought I should give you one while I am here. I'm really enjoying this so far. I really don't remember what I said about it on Monday, but I am finding this a lot easier to get into than the Farseer trilogy was, any of the books in the Farseer trilogy really. However, I'm finding the same kind of issues that I had with the Farseer trilogy with me getting into it. I don't necessarily think it's that this book is any easier to get into. It's just I really like the perspective of Althea. So instead of with the Farseer trilogy where I would struggle through the first couple of 100 pages and then my pace would pick up, in this I have no problem with the Althea chapters, but as soon as we switch to Kennet, who is the pirate, my interest is just less and so my pace is a little bit slower. I'm making decent progress in this. I'm like 90 pages from the halfway point. I do still think I'm going to finish this today. I'm not hitting my goal of 135 pages a day in this, but I did build up so much of a lead last week that I'm not behind at all. I'm still over 200 pages ahead, so it's not an issue. So my main aim really is just to finish this week, which I don't think I'm actually going to have a problem with. I've gotten up early every single day this week. I've been awake before 9 AM every single day, which I know for some of you guys will be the norm, but I normally sleep from like 2 AM in the morning until like 10 AM. But I've had things going on, like my sofa arrived at 8:10, so I've been up early every single day and I have to say I'm really enjoying that because I mean it feels much later, but it's only 1 PM and I've finished making all of the candles that I set out to make today. I've just filmed my August Illumicrate unboxing, which I'm now going to go edit and have up for today. I've also managed to read 40 pages and then when I've edited my video and set it to upload, I'm still going to have time to do something else. So honestly, we love an early morning, can't lie. I do want to take an afternoon off sometime this week, which to be fair I could do that after I'd edited my video, but the thing with me is that I kind of always have something that I could do. So instead of taking the afternoon off, I will just work for longer. Maybe I'll take the entirety of Friday off. The thing with being self-employed is that I can have whenever I want off, but I never seem to take advantage of that. I just continue to work. So the thing that I'm actually here to show you guys today is that I received this morning. I believe that this is from, oh yeah, it actually says on it, there's a sticker there. This is from Brit, from basically Brit's shop. If you are unfamiliar with Brit in any way, then I will link her channel in my description box. She's a Dutch booktuber and honestly just a ray of sunshine, and she has a shop where she sells art prints, bookmarks and also stationery items. I've been meaning to place an order for a while. I have placed an order before for a couple of bookmarks, but she has just started to move over from Etsy to her own website, so I definitely wanted to support that because when you have a website as opposed to a shop platform like Etsy, it is important to creators that you do use that website avenue. So I wanted to support the launch of her website, and she also just released some like moon phase and astrological themed products, which you guys know I love. So let me just crack this open. At this point I can't remember what I ordered because there were a couple of things that I went in there knowing that I was gonna buy, and then I did add a few extras to support Brit as well. So let's see what we got. The packaging that Brit does honestly is beautiful. She loves sunflowers, so it's wrapped in tissue paper with a little sunflower sticker. Ooh! So Brit has definitely put a couple of extras in here for me, so thank you so much, Brit. She's put this beautiful flowery moon sticker in as an extra, and also this sheet of stickers, which I really love because it's all like magic and moon themed, but I did decide to order this one instead, so Brit has popped this one in extra for me, so thank you so much. I love them. I really love Brit's art style just generally. I also ordered some washi tape, which I don't want to open, but it's like a a starry galaxy print, and I mainly use washi tape for sticking down the Amazon gift notes. If I receive any gifts from Amazon from any of you guys, I use washi tape to stick the notes in the front so that they don't fall out. The other things I ordered are in this pouch. I'm gonna save the bookmarks for last because they were the first things that I put in my basket. Those were the things that like I knew I wanted to buy. But I did pick up this A4 print that says we are all made of stardust, which I'm going to frame, and I'll probably put it on the gallery wall that I've started in here. And the two items that I specifically went on there to order were these bookmarks because they're just beautiful. Oh my god, they are even more beautiful in person as well. So we have this one, which is the moon phases. This is just generally really good quality printing, and the gold is not only foiled, it's also embossed. And then the second one, I believe you can pick these up as a set of two, which is what I did. The second one says when it is dark, look for stars, and again it is both foiled and embossed. So these are absolutely stunning. I love them so much. So yeah, if you guys are interested in any of these or checking Brit stuff out, I've gotten all like astrological themed stuff, but she also has quite a few floral items and other like types of design. So I will link her website down in my description box, and you would be supporting not only a small business but also a fellow booktuber. So I haven't read a single page yet today. I'm around a cookbook here actually. I've just passed the halfway point in Ship of Magic. I'm on page 466, so it's actually still looking good for me to finish this on Saturday, and if I don't finish on Saturday then I'll definitely have this done by the end of the week. But the reason I'm here is because this arrived today, and usually when Waterstones orders arrive they come in a box that says Waterstones on them. This does not say Waterstones on it, but I do think it is the Waterstones order that I placed last week after I went to York to buy comics, and my comic book store did not have any of the things that I wanted. So I'm very excited. This arrived this morning and I have been desperate to open it up. I'm sad as well. This is the thing, like I wanted these comics for so long, but I'm not in a position to read them right now because even though I could slip in a comic into my September TBR, because it is the month of Bookoplathon, I only want to read books that I've rolled. So as it stands, I am currently set to finish my TBR 2.5 days ahead of schedule. However, I am planning on accelerating that a little bit. Essentially, I want my TBR done and then I want to use the roll as I go method. I'll say that there's probably going to be less than a week left of the month by the time I finish my TBR, because I still have 5 books on it, 4.5 if you include this, although to be honest, I am extremely proud of the fact that I've nearly finished this one. So essentially, I'm refusing to read anything that isn't on my September TBR, and then hopefully, I want to say definitely, but I don't want to jinx myself. Hopefully, I will finish my TBR early, and then I will get another 1 or 2. I feel like I'm being optimistic, but I just want to roll again because I'm only using this board for this month, so I want to get as much use out of it as I possibly can. And so I'm not putting anything extra into my TBR, but hopefully when I've got all of these books read, I will be able to squeeze in some more things. But even if that happens, I have so many books to read right now that are a priority that I wouldn't even know where to start. Speaking of books that are a priority, I did get approved for another arc on NetGalley yesterday, I think it was, and it is a book that I read the synopsis of, I think it was like way earlier this year, and I was really interested in it, but it's by an author who writes another series that I'm really not interested in. So it is Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Maniscalco, who is the author of the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which is a young adult historical fiction. I don't think it's got any fantastical elements in it, but in October there is a book coming out by Kerri Maniscalco called Kingdom of the Wicked, and the synopsis sounds so good. So essentially there are these 2 twin sisters and one of them is murdered, so the other one uses dark magic to seek revenge, and I believe it's a romance between her and one of the princes of hell. So that sounds right up my alley, and I'm really excited to read that. But then that is one more arc that I need to read, because I still have to read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue and also Deadly Education by Naomi Novik, and then I also have one more of the arcs that Pushkin Press sent me. As well as that, I have a small TBR of other books I would like to get to, and then also things like The Emperor of Evening Stars by Laura Thalassa that I'm desperate to read. But my book haul, what is in here? Do we we have 3 graphic novels, or did they just send me 2 with this one? I did just add 1 random book to my order. It wasn't that random, but I do still need the rest of the Stormlight archive books by Brandon Sanderson because I'm co-hosting the Stormlight read-along. This is the second part of Words of Radiance. In the UK, the paperbacks are split into 2 editions, and the last time I placed a Waterstones order, I got the first 3 books that I needed, so the first 2 parts of The Way of Kings and the first part of Words of Radiance. So I needed this anyway because I need to read it next month, so I just added it to my order. But yes, okay, I know what's missing. The item that's missing is Angel After the Fall Volume 2, and that is because it's not an item that's readily available. They have to order it in or whatever it is they do. So the 2 comics that we have, the first one is Blackbird Volume 1 by Sam Humphries and Jen Bartel. I don't know much about this, but I believe it's set in Los Angeles and there is magic in here, and somebody captures the main character's sister, so she goes to get her back. But as you can see, this has an absolutely stunning art style, and I've been very interested in it before. I believe that the artist who works on this is the same one who works on The Wicked and the Divine, which is another series I've been really drawn to because of the artwork, but I've heard that the storyline isn't actually all that great. So I wasn't sure about this, but Jade from JD Ray Reads read this a couple of months ago maybe, and when she said she was reading it, I asked her to let me know, and she did highly recommend it. So I've wanted to get my hands on this for a while. And the second one I have, I'm so excited about because I finally have Buffy the Vampire Slayer Volume 1. This is the modern reboot. I found out that this existed during the reading rush, and I essentially gushed over it because I have seen this in comic book stores before, questioned the cover, but never really looked too closely at it. And I was like, why is this Buffy comic being promoted everywhere? Like, Buffy's not as big of a deal anymore as it used to be. And then I was in my comic book store during the reading rush, and I discovered that this is a modern reboot. So if you look at the cover, this in Buffy's hand is a phone. So this is set in, is it 2018 or 2019? But the art style is beautiful. All of the characters have been modernized. I'll just show you some things from the art gallery at the back. So this is Giles and also Willow and Giles. Willow's like a indie hippie witch type character. Buffy is a little bit more mainstream, but then we have Cordelia, who's still like the really popular cheerleader. I believe Xander's a gamer in here, and I think actually Giles is pretty much the same, but like, look at Cordelia. It's just, I really needed this. I'm a little bit sensitive to Buffy and what is canon. I'm currently reading the actual canon comics as well. I'm always torn because Buffy is so special to me that I don't want to read anything like Buffy is Buffy, that is it. But I do kind of want to explore these. I've already read the first continuation of Buffy or Angel in the comics, which is Angel After the Fall Volume 1, and my brain struggles to accept it as canon anyway, so I do think that I'm actually okay reading these and holding them separate from the Buffyverse. Like, this is a reimagining, so it's not canon like the others are, but I think I'm okay, and I'm gonna be okay with experiencing the furthering and different incarnations of this story in a comic format, but not tying it to the series and still like keeping Buffy precious and sacred to me. So yeah, this is my book haul. I'm very excited about it, especially these. I'm in such a comic mood at the minute, just because it's been a while, you know, it's been a while since there's been comics that I'm really excited to read, because I don't go out for comics as a format. I just read ones that people recommend or ones that are really good. Generally, like the first comic I ever read was Saga, and I love it. Saga is one of my favorite series of all time, like outside of it just being a comic. So yeah, I feel like it's been a long time since I've been excited about comics, and it's been a long time since I've heard about and found out about some like standout comics. So yeah, I'm in a big comic mood at the minute. There's so many that I really want to read, and I'm excited to add these to my small, or like my comic book collection isn't small. I have less than 20 volumes of comics, but I'm excited to add these to my growing comic collection.
When I saw you, didn't care about the party. Wishing all of these people would just head out so we can talk. I could tell by the smile when you asked where to write your name on my wall. Wish I met you at 16. Wish I could have taken you to prom. Better late than never. I see us spending days together.
sketching pictures up and singing songs, wondering what I did before you came along. Oh, you're just what I need, the best part of me. Somehow it keeps getting better.
Hey guys, so I'm just checking in. I've had quite a busy day actually. Something has come up. The last couple of days have been pretty wild, but essentially in a couple of weeks I have to go away for a couple of days and I had nothing to wear for this couple of days. So today I had to go out unexpectedly to go and get myself some clothes. And you know what, actually I was going to do a haul, but I did buy quite a lot because you can't try things on at the minute. So I will be returning some stuff, but I bought tons of things and I made sure that I bought them in my usual size, or if they looked like they were small fitting, I bought them in a size bigger. I came home and I'm trying to build outfits, so I tried to make these into outfits and there was a couple of things I was missing, like I didn't get any tops that were just block colours, so I have like a couple of pairs of patterned pants and nothing would really go with them. So when we were in Primark, I picked out a couple of things for Curtis and I tried them on, and realistically they should not have fit me. They should have been tight, but they fit me better than anything I bought for myself. Like there is definitely more fabric in the clothing that I bought than in these two jumpers that I bought for Curtis because he is really slim, and yeah, they fit me perfectly. So I was annoyed about that and I've commandeered one of his jumpers to go with one of my outfits that I need. I just really want to read because I don't have my book with me, but I only have 180 pages left of The Ship of Magic. Still really enjoying that. There's a character, I don't think I've spoken about this particular character, I may have done, but some of the book is from the perspective of sea serpents and those parts are just really confusing me and I'm really just waiting for them to make sense. But I have 180 pages left, which is quite a lot for one sitting, but I'm assuming that as we get towards the end of the book the pace is going to pick up quite dramatically, so we'll get to a point where I don't want to put it down. So I do want to do that tonight. It is like, I want to say it's at least 9 p.m. I'm not sure exactly what time it is right now, and aside from that I need to eat because I haven't had dinner yet, and I also need to shower. But one of the main reasons that I'm here right now is that I released the autumn fall candle range on Grace and Honey on Friday night. I'm going to be showing you the candles, but the bundles are currently out of stock now, and so are two of the candles that I'm going to be showing you. So I am sorry about that. I will be restocking them as soon as possible. What I do with the fall ranges is that I release them in September and they are available until the end of October or until stocks last. So any point now when I'm ordering fragrances between now and the end of October, I will order the fragrances in, and then after October I will just leave them up until they run out. So we have 3 candles. One of them is returning from last year because I love the scent, and the other one I normally have has been discontinued. That was a bunch of Hocus Pocus, and I've replaced it with 2 new ones. So this is the one that's returning from last year. Some of you guys already have this one or have had it, and it is Cozy Fall Reads. The scent on this is lemon, pumpkin, nutmeg, syrup and vanilla frosting. It is orange. This is actually mine from last year. I saved myself one and I haven't even lit it, so there was no point, but it has ombre slightly, which is really cool. I must have had it in, I don't know, like direct sunlight or just in a place it shouldn't have been, but it's orange with white on top, and I really like how it's ombre. And we have a little bit of decoration on the top. This one is pretty much a like pumpkin cupcake frosting kind of scent, but I love it. Oh, I love it so much. The other one that's sold out, I'm not surprised that it's sold out. I expected this to be the most popular one, and so far it's proven that it is. This one is Basic Witch. It is a like heathery color. It's a very light like mauvey brown. This one has yellow and purple glitter on it, and the scent on this is pumpkin, espresso, cinnamon and brown sugar. And the reason why I expected this to sell out so fast is that it is pumpkin spice latte scented. It smells like a pumpkin spice latte, and yeah, Basic Witch, because what else could I call a pumpkin spice latte scented candle? And then the final one, I do still have some of this in stock. The thing with autumn fragrances is that they are very hard to get hold of. Like I heavily stocked these because I know that fall and autumn candles are always popular, and I still sold out, but this one I managed to stock the heaviest because the fragrance on these two are US imports, so they are harder to get hold of and you have to buy them in smaller bottles, but this I could buy in a massive bottle of fragrance. This one is Dark Academia, and the scent on this one is butterscotch, cinnamon, black tea, cardamom and fennel. This one does not have any decoration on the top. but it is this off-white kind of color. The idea I was going for with this, because it's called Dark Academia, is like a yellowed pages or like a parchment kind of color, and I think that turned out really well. And this one is, it is sweet, but it's not like vanilla sweetness. This is my least favorite of the three, mainly because butterscotch and caramel fragrances, and even butterscotch and caramel like to eat, I don't particularly like it. So of the three, this one is my least favorite, but it does still smell nice. And I know that a lot of people are a huge fan of like the butterscotch and caramel scents. It's just me, I'm really not. So yeah, these three are my fall range. I think the colors look really nice together as well. And if you would like to get your hands on these, then the link is as usual in my description box, as well as a 10% off discount code. But yeah, I'm gonna finish Ship of Magic soon, and then I'll come and let you guys know what I thought of it. And then tomorrow I'm hosting the special sprints on Twitter, which are going to be called dice sprints. You guys will know this by the time this vlog goes up. So I have this crazy idea, like in the spirit of Bookopoly, to host reading sprints depending on a dice. So each dot on the dice represents 10 minutes. At the beginning of a sprint, I roll the dice and that tells us how long it's going to be. And if we roll a double, then you have to switch books. So on Thursday night, I told everybody that sprints could last up to 2 hours, which is intense for a sprint. So I'm going to be doing it pretty much all day, and that you would need 2 books. But I need to go make the graphic for that so that I have something to post in the morning with the rules on. I would have done it tonight, but Zoe from Zoe's All Booked is currently running a 24-hour readathon, and because she is in the EST time zone, it will only end at like 5 o'clock in the morning for me, and I won't be awake at that time. So yeah, I need to get up and post that in the morning, and then we will start with that at midday. I'm really excited. I'm trying to get everything done now, which is why I'm still sorting out my video so that I can curl up on my new sofa, which is so comfortable. Honestly, I love it so much. I just, like the atmosphere of the room has completely changed with just getting a rug and a sofa. It changed completely when we got a lamp, because like just switching the lamp on instead of having the overhead light on just is so much more of a cozy atmosphere. And then having the rug and the sofa, the living room is so relaxing now. And yeah, I just want to go curl up on my sofa with my book. So I'm gonna go get things done so I can do that. Hey, so I've been running dice sprints. This is the second sprint, we're just starting it now, I should be reading. But the rules I made, I think I told you what they were yesterday, and I didn't finish Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb last night. I had 100 pages left today, and I don't mind about switching books or anything, which is part of the rules of the sprints that I made, but I just wanted to finish my book first. But after the first sprint, we rolled a double. I have 65 pages left of this book, and now I have to change books for 100 minutes, and I'm really salty about it. So yeah, I should probably let you know what I'm going to be starting to read. I know I said the other day that I wasn't going to be reading anything that isn't on my Bookopoly TBR, and I still want to stick by that. However, I do have an e-arc that I really need to read, so I'm gonna have to squeeze it in now while I'm ahead on my page count and everything for the day. And that is Just Like You by Nick Hornby. It is Nick Hornby's next release. It comes out at the end of this month, I think around the 27th, and all I know about it is that it is an adult contemporary story about a 41, I think, year-old woman who is divorced, and she meets a younger man who's in his 20s and is also a person of color, and I believe they're from a different class as well, so essentially they have very different lives, and I think it's a romance between them. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a romantic relationship in here, but I don't know whether the focus of the story is going to be a romance or whether it's going to be more of a contemporary. I'm going to start reading that now for the next 100 minutes, and then hopefully at some point I can switch back and read the last 65 pages of Ship of Magic. I'm determined that I'm going to finish this today. No matter what happens, I'm finishing this today.
Better late than never. Good days and bad days, I know I can call you, 'cause you always have answers to problems that I could never solve. Never met green eyes, I love to get lost in this much. Now all the time that we have left doesn't seem like it's enough. Better late than never. I see us spending days together, sketching pictures up and singing songs, wondering what I did before you came along.
So I'm currently like bang in the middle of the last Bookopoly dice sprint of the evening, but I just realized that when it was done it's gonna be like 1 a.m. and I would have to wrap up this vlog, so I thought I would just take a little break and do it now. So today I've read quite a lot. I'm on around page 250 of Just Like You by Nick Hornby. Sadly not on my Bookoplathon TBR, so today I've only read 120 pages. That is for my Bookoplathon TBR, which is less than my 135 daily goal, but I am still ahead from the rest of the readathon. And like I said, I've read 250 pages of this, so I have at this moment less than 120 pages left, so I'm aiming to finish this tomorrow. I sadly did not, okay, this is the plotting angle. I sadly did not get a chance to start My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix today, which was going to be my next Bookoplathon book. I was thinking that we would get some doubles in the evening and I'd have the chance to switch over, but that never happened, so I want to start this tomorrow as well. But in terms of wrapping up this vlog, at the end of the daytime sprints, which was 6 p.m, I did finish Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb and I gave it 5 stars. There's characters in it that I don't like, and I'm not sure if I'm supposed to like them necessarily. I think I found the thing with pirate books. If you write a well-written pirate, like a pirate who is actually a pirate, then they're unlikable because they're not nice people. Like, pirates aren't nice. So Kenneth in Ship of Magic, I wasn't a huge fan of him. I don't like Kyle, but Kyle is kind of the villain of the story, I guess. Or if you've read the Farseer trilogy, you'll know what I mean, and Kyle is like the Regal of the first book, at least, of the Live Ship Traders. But I really like the writing. It actually took me a while to figure out why it felt kind of different from the Farseer trilogy, and it's because it's multi-perspective. Like, in the Farseer trilogy, you are just singularly following Fitz, and it's a very slow-moving coming-of-age story where you're in his head all the time. And I think in Ship of Magic, it is very refreshing to have multiple perspectives because it didn't drag quite so much as the Farseer trilogy does. And the reason for that, I think, is because you're jumping all over the world, and some characters I really like. I like all of the Vestrates. I like Ephron, Ronica, and Althea. Malta, not sure if I like her. I kind of like her a bit, but she's also really annoying. And Kefria is probably my least favorite Vestrit. I really like Winrow. What other perspectives do we have? The Serpent's perspective kind of doesn't really wrap up in that book. I'm still confused. Like, I see what they're getting at, but nothing was really like fully wrapped up with them, so we'll have to see how they continue in the rest of the series. But the Serpents, yeah, that was just a weird perspective anyway, because I just didn't understand what was going on from most of the Serpent's perspective. But I'm definitely like, I'm confident there'll be more clarity on that. The chapters that were set on sea, like books set on the sea with like lots of ship, what's the word I'm looking for? Ship technical language? What is the word for technical language? I don't remember. I'm tired. I've been reading all day and it hurts. The ship language, whatever that word is that I'm missing from my brain right now, didn't love, but I do really like the, I like the Vivacia and the characters on the ships. I think that the Ship of Magic actually hurts more, or it hurt me more, than the Farseer trilogy did, because Robin Hobb, she's just not nice to her characters. You'll read a general fantasy book and most of the time, or at least a fair amount of the time, your characters will end up in a dire situation and they'll kind of pull themselves around last minute. Robin Hobb doesn't do that. Like, your characters are just in pain all the time, and if anything bad can happen to the characters, then it will. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. It was very compelling from the second chapter, because the first chapter was from the perspective of the pirate, and I wasn't a huge fan of that, but I really loved all the term politics, and I did think that it was very compelling and I enjoyed it. So 5 stars to that. Not sure if I like it more than Farseer. I think because they're a little bit different from each other, I can't really directly compare them. There's elements that I like about both, but I did also like how the 2 different countries regard each other, like how the people from Bingtown and in the Live Ship Traders think that the people of the 6 duchies are barbarians, when actually I personally think that the people of the area that the Live Ship Traders is set in are kind of antiquated. But yeah, so I finished that. And for Bookoplathon, that was to read an ebook or an audiobook, and that is my 4th Bookoplathon book finished. So considering we're not halfway through the month yet, I think I'm doing pretty well. There's 2 days left till the midway point of the month, and I would really like to finish this, but I think I'm gonna have just a little bit left by the time we get to the halfway point. Just Like You by Nick Hornby. I haven't read a book by Nick Hornby before, so I didn't know what to expect. It reminds me of One Day by David Nichols in the way that it's written. It is that kind of typical British, almost like rom-com kind of feel that's like a little bit more than a rom-com. Like, it's a little bit more contemporary than just a straight romance, but we follow two characters in here. We follow Lucy and Joseph. Joseph is a 22-year-old black man and Lucy is a 42-year-old. Recently, I don't think she's divorced, I think she's separated. Content warning for alcoholism and substance abuse in here, and also racism. But I am really enjoying this so far. The majority of the story, like I'm 67% of the way through or something, and the majority of the story does take place in 2016 on the backdrop of Brexit, which is a really interesting kind of time to set this, and I'm wondering about the significance of having it set at this particular time, because the characters aren't reacting to Brexit, I guess, or voting in Brexit the way that I would expect them to based on who they are. But it is about these two characters. Like Joseph works a lot of jobs, he's like working class, and Lucy is the head of the English department at I think a college. So she would she be middle class? I'm really bad at knowing the difference between like upper working class and just like standard kind of middle class. But yeah, they're from very different backgrounds. She's obviously like a white middle-aged woman and he is a young black man, and it is about how they're kind of attracted to each other. But I mean, there's a 20-year age gap there, as well as the fact that they would be a mixed race couple, and also the class difference as well. So that dynamic is kind of interesting, not in a way that I thought it would be, though. It's less about that, I want to say. Like, it is definitely about that, but it's not like, I don't know, like there's a lot kind of going on here that is the focus, but without it being exclusively about that. But it's really funny, it's so sarcastic, and I just love how sarcastic Joseph is especially. I'm enjoying this, and I will be done with this tomorrow, and then I can go back to focusing on my Bookoplathon at TBR. So that is all I have to say at this moment. I'm having a really great time running these sprints, or I have had, because I'm coming to the end of the last one. There's only about 20 minutes left. Another longish vlog, I think. As you guys know, I wasn't doing too well mentally a couple of weeks ago, and since I've kind of got back from that, since I'm feeling better, I've gone back into like really long vlogs where I just can't shut up. So I hope you like those kinds of vlogs, and I'm gonna go to make my life editing a little bit easier when I get around to doing that tomorrow or Tuesday. But I hope you've enjoyed this vlog if you made it this far. If you have, then please don't forget to like if you liked it, and subscribe if you wanna, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.